I said, Freya, as we look at case 7188 and we talk about March 17th, I said, please note for me the time that I sent in a motion, because I could have did it at 3 or 4 in the a.m. and then I got pulled over at 7:50. And my son could have been working for numerous jobs where you came into contact with Andrea Faulkner, Bobby Joe Champion, or again, John R. Tunheim. I filed a complaint against Chief Tunheim. I didn't understand, I guess, the law when I was fumbling my way through the courts, and I filed a complaint against John R. Tunheim with the appellate court. And Michael Gans sent my complaint to me, and he said, Sharon, you didn't ask for nothing. And then when I redid it, he called me up and he said, Sharon, what do you expect me to do? And I said, I expect you to put this in his file. Because you know, when he's sitting in a room with people like Keith Ellis and Bobby Joe Champion, and he's expecting them to be honest, upstanding men, and he might have information that leads him differently, where I felt Barb Johnson, like I filed in Becky Thorson's court, I said Barb Johnson committed malfeasance. I said she misappropriated funds due me, and I had shown a case where she had already been caught of doing the same act. Now, at the time when I wrote that, did I want to get Barb fired? No. I just wanted my $50,000 plus my lawyer fees and my medical fees returned to me. And because nobody gave it to me, that case really got out of hand, where I then filed that complaint against Barb. At the same time, I'm filing a complaint against judge, right? And people said, Sharon, do you know what you did? And I'm thinking, yeah, I filed a complaint. Motherfucker, he did this to me. Under the law, And if nobody ever complains, he might do it to another motherfucker. And looking back, 21 other people could have been just like me. Right? And they say, Sharon, why do you play with them people? And I said I wasn't playing with it because actually I aspired to be a lawyer who could be appointed to a judicial official based on their prosecuting record, where the state now takes notice of them, and not only aren't they elected by the people in their area to sit on a seat, but the governor is now electing them. And then when the governor elects them, that means that the president of the United States can now elect them to a higher courtroom. And these are lifetime seats, right? So I'm expecting these people to have a pristine record. I'm expecting that when they're audited, they're not showing any bias of any kind in any way, shape, or form under the law. Why? Because you got to be that, is it Lincoln, who they put the opposite way, right? They put that man the opposite way. And because of him, black people are free. Now, is that a bad thing? Is that a bad thing? Because then I get to look at me, right? And I said, son, you know, when people are saying, I did this and I did that, are you a bad person? And he said, no. Which I knew that. So then, it wasn't because of me, right? I was born 121369. They used to say the 13th. They still say the number 13 is bad luck. So a lot of people said I, in and of myself, was bad luck. So I carried that stigma with me for years, and I had to overcome it. I had to overcome being born on the number 13. I had no control of that. Yes, you did. You were a baby. You wanted to come out. Not a bitch. I'm irritated. I'm very, very irritated. Man was driving by looking at me some type of way. Man walked up on me and said, you gonna speak? Better speak to me. And it mimicked Bobby Joe Champion when I used to say, you know, I see him around in public. And if he knew who I was, he could at least gave me a nod. You know, I think when I passed Keith just gave me a smile. Like at the Cub that time when I seen him, nothing major. You know, as a politician wanting your vote, keeping, you know, a good rapport with his people, I think I passed that man at the grocery store at Cubs once, and he just gave me a smile and a nod. But Bobby Joe Champion, on the other hand, he came off as different. He was acting as if. And I seen him in the courtroom one day, right? I'm arguing this case about my son, where the school issued him a citation, and the judicial official in that case said this is a school case, it's under school punishment. He didn't break the law. I'm dismissing this case with prejudice, right? But I seen Bobby Joe Champion running feverishly in the courtroom that day. That's the day that I got the juvenile diversion, Joshua R. Williams, right? And as I got the juvenile diversion, Joshua R. Williams, that day for that ticket, do you know I thought it was for the keyboard that they lied and said was a monitor that they didn't want restitution for, when his suspension paper said it was for a keyboard. But if you stole my belongings, that means you got the suspension paper that said it was a keyboard. So then the ones that they changed in the district that said it was a monitor are now wiped away, right? You don't have the actual suspension paper where it was an actual monitor, where Kim and them fabricated it just to get him in court that day, where I thought Bobby Joe Champion manipulated the courtroom and got that juvenile diversion contract. And under that juvenile diversion contract, they wanted Michael to apologize for the keyboard. And as Michael was having a tantrum, major one that day, by the way, Brent Branson wasn't allowing him to blow his nose. Brent Branson said that Michael couldn't get up in a room of 5 children to get a Kleenex until he was done taking motherfucking attendance, because he was at Harrison. Brent Branson, I thought, was flexing, because at Edison, where Shayla was, Shayla could get up and get a Kleenex, right? But at Harrison,